Hello, everyone. We're back with, guess what? Another Winning Wednesday webinar. I am Malika Moore, the founder of Aging and Amazing, and we have here Natascha Hardee of Hardee Life. Let me tell you, I say this pretty much every month, but I really enjoy should I use the word stalking? Stalking Natascha on social media because she's just so out of the box in how she relates to her followers and her content. And Asian and Amazing is all about strengthening the networks around older adults, caregivers, and professionals. And this is the person to do it. Hi, Natascha, how are you?
I'm amazing, and so are you. And I'd like to say, Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you and all your viewers. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay. Yeah, I was feeling it. I was about to dance, but I said, no, maybe I shouldn't. I love your background, by the way. It's just giving me spring all over. You look like you're just radiating over there. So.
Oh, I am actually, I'm normally in New York. I'm a native New York. I live in New York. However, I'm down in Florida taking care of some business with my granddaughter and I. And so she's doing a workshop, and I'm actually the chaperoning her to and from New York. And so I just came from a walk. As you can see, I'm sweating, and yeah, I am what am I am very radiant right now from the walk and sitting in the on the sun porch. Honey, I don't mind because it's so cold in New York. I'm happy to be down here. I'm soaking up all the sun and all the heat. Yes, give it to me.
Yeah, today is definitely windy here in Maryland, so I would gladly swap with you just to get some of that sunshine that's coming through the window. But you're also bringing sunshine. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about what you do?
Yes, I am a dynamic lifestyle coach. I'm also a midlife moderator mentor, and I teach midlifers how to moderate on virtual platforms. So that means I encourage midlifers to amplify their virtual presence. I say this, I ignite joyful energy shifts in midlifers through dance, conversation, music, and movement so they can release their inhibitions, figure out what's holding them back, amplify their superpower so they can live a life of fulfillment. And I do that through coaching. I am a ICF certified life coach.
Okay.
And I combine everything that I've had in my life as a fitness professional, an occupational therapist, a trained dancer. I'm a graduate from the fame. I'm gonna live forever.
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Yeah, so, when I thought about March's speaker, you were the first person that came to mind to kind of bring us into this change of season. And oddly enough, the name of your presentation is Self-Care, Embracing Aging Transitions. And I thought, okay, what a powerful title. And I knew and I know that you're going to ignite the audience. Doesn't matter if you're a midlifer or not.
Exactly. And what I want to say about midlife, and people creates a distinction between midlife and like 40, and then midlife at 50, then midlife at 60. Then they got all these different names like Crohn's and all those different terms, right? When you go in the 70s and 80s and what have you.
Young, old, old,
yeah,
all of that.
It doesn't matter because life goes on, and it doesn't change. It doesn't make you any less of a human being because you're 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80. What does occur is how you handle the transitions you go through. And I really honestly feel that we have transitions during our entire life. Yes. We have transitions all through our lives. And what happens is when you get into your 40s and your 50s, 60s, you start losing your parents, you become an empty nester, you become a grandparent. There's so many things that begin to sandwich in our experience, and we are begin to spin 9 plates. You know, we're doing so many things, and on top of that, as a woman, and like I can speak to being a woman, you're dealing with menopause, postmenopause, you're dealing with changes with your body, confidence. And society tends to, while men have their changes, and I respect that, society tends to amplify men and their aging process, and women tend to disappear from the media. And my goal is to be the poster child for the second half of your life. I want to be the poster child for the midlifers, for the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. I'm 59 and proud to say I'm 59 and feeling fine.
You certainly are. You certainly are. And I agree with you. We are going through transitions throughout our entire life. And some of us get to experience things a little bit earlier and some a little later. I mean, it's change is not discriminatory. That's for sure. And it can be rough trying to navigate those changes. And so what I'm hearing you say is that you're here for every bump, every high, every low, you're able to kind of bring out the best in people.
Yes, and let people know that it's okay, right? I had a friend, her mom's funeral was today,
Oh no.
and you know that's she was an only child. That's going to be a difficult transition for her. I know for me, when I was I could say 2015. I don't remember how old I was at that time. I must have been about 52, 53, something like that. My dad transitioned in November, and 2 weeks later, my oldest brother transitioned. They both died from cancer. And that was a real hard experience for me. Grieving them turned into like a 4-year process. And on top of being in postmenopause, it just made everything so difficult for me. And just don't, lack of hormones are not supportive of you when you're under stress, when you're under emotional duress, when you're under any kind of physical duress. That bumper, that those hormones create a buffer in the way you're able to process your emotions. And when they're not there, it becomes a big deal. And it's very common that a lot of women have mental issues in their 40s and 50s during perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And it's a real thing. And a lot of women will say, I didn't experience anything during menopause. And then it's not present that there are 49 symptoms to menopause, and you're not present to these symptoms. And men as well are experiencing their own midlife experience in this process of adjusting to their physical, the soldier not standing at attention like it once did, and other hormonal issues that come with the grain of the hair or losing the hair or physically shifting how they look. And it is, I think, for both men and women, it is a big shift in really embracing the change that you're going through. And when I say change is constant. That's the only thing consistent in life. But I really feel like if society prepared us more and gave a more realistic perspective about what happens in this stage of your life, we would be a lot more prepared and wouldn't be like, oh my God, look at what's happening to me, right? Like it's a you thing. It's not you, it's everyone in this stage, in this process.
You said a lot there that I just had. First of all, I want to send my condolences to your friend and her mother, and just even with your losses, something about grief is you can't run from it, you can't hide from it. You have to go through it, and it's a painful experience. But what I do know about grief is that it comes in many forms. It comes as that caregiver, caregiving for their loved one. It comes as after that retirement. It comes, and of course, when you lose someone close, or when your body's changing, you don't have what you think is that youthful look that you used to have, or you go through some kind of major illness that changes your life. Those things are not easy to deal with, but none of us are none of us are going to escape some kind of change. And so that's why I really was excited when you gave me your title for the Winning Wednesday webinar of March, because I knew that, hey, this is something needed. This is something that needs to be talked about. And you have a special way of just not dancing around things and getting straight to the point. Has anybody ever told you that?
All the time, all the time, all the time. People tell me that. And because there's no way, no need to beat around the bush. It is really about being realistic, being straightforward with it. And I honestly feel when you embrace, accept, and own what's going on with you, it makes life easier for you. The thing that you shared about the different levels of grief that people go through, I can share with you really quickly is that
Okay.
at 54, I became a parent again at that time to my granddaughter who was 9.5 years old. And I wasn't aware for 2 years. I grieved the loss of my freedom. I was grieving the loss of my freedom, becoming a parent again. And it was only supposed to be for a year. It's now in June, this June will be 5 years that I've been a parent. And I will say to you that grieving the loss of my freedom of a single woman, and I was traveling around the world. Like my goal at that time, I was like, I want to travel around the world, and I'm still looking to travel around the world. The loss of travel, the loss of my free time, just being able to come and go as I please. And not only that, somebody said to me the other day, they said, oh, you must love being, love what you're doing with your granddaughter. And I said, no, I hate it. I hate it. And it was like, really? And I said, I hate parenting her because I'm not able to be her grandmother. So I lost the ability to be her grandmother, to spoil her, to be that person she could confide in and do fun things with, right? Because now I've become her parent, and becoming her parent means that I don't get to be the grandma or the fun grandma or the person that gets to choose to do the things that I desire to do, I want to do. There's a lot of things I have to do that I don't really want to do. So that's what I don't like about it. I love my granddaughter, and I love that I'm able to step in and support her and give her a better life than where she was. But the parenting part is what I do not like. And I don't like the fact that I lost my role as a grandparent. So I'm being honest.
I love your honesty, and I see it a lot. I also do support groups for caregivers, and that's often the time the only space that they get in life to say, I really didn't want to do this, or I didn't have a good relationship with mom or dad. Now I have to be daughter of the year, and I'm still carrying some resentment from back when. It's just that role reversal. And so I appreciate your honesty. Just like I tell my caregivers or anyone that I know, sometimes it starts with just being honest. Like, look, I'm not okay with this change. Yes, I'm doing it. Yes, you see a smile on my face, but inside I'm going through some inner turmoil, trying to make this happen. And that's okay. That's what I'm hearing you say by being so honest with us, is that you're giving us permission to feel the way we feel.
Yes, to own your feelings, because the minute you give yourself permission to own your feelings, permission to have fun, permission to be angry, permission to be a mess, permission to make mistakes, it just allows you a space of acceptance. And I didn't do this by myself. I have a coach, I have a few coaches, and it was through coaching that got me to openly admit and process my feelings around the anger I had in that space about being a parent. It wasn't easy, and it was something that I got that I found that it was necessary for me to do in order for me to move forward and to create a space of happiness within myself and with my granddaughter, like to not um, project my feelings onto her. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I love, I'm connecting all the dots here. I'm listening to everything you're saying. And you're not only qualified by ICF, but life has trained you. And also you reached out to get the support you needed. And that makes you more than qualified to help people now who are going through transitions. So I'm definitely want people to be there on March 9th, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern for our Winning Wednesday webinar, Self-Care, Embracing Aging Transitions. But not only that, Natascha, I really want them to connect with you, especially if they could relate to anything you said on this video. Your information is in the description. Natascha's information is in the description. You do not have to wait to our Winning Wednesday webinar to reach out to her. I'm telling you, we were discussing this webinar, but I just enjoy talking and listening to her. As you can see, her energy is contagious. And so if you like to get a hold of that, I'll put her information down in the description, and also the link to register for this webinar. Be there. All you need to do is register. It's Self-Care, Embracing Aging Transitions, March 9th, 2022, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. You have to be there. And the name of this company is Aging and Amazing. And I feel like, I mean, look at Natascha. She's definitely that. And this is who this company was created for. Whether you're a woman, a man, a caregiver, whatever you're going through, I can guarantee you that Natascha's going to touch on how you can take care of yourself and embrace these inevitable changes. We are not going to escape changes, but it's all about how we do it. And what I heard Natascha say is that sometimes you can't do it alone.
No, you cannot do it alone. And self-care is not a day at a spa. Self-care is not something you do once a week. Self-care is a daily practice. That's what I want to leave people, letting them know that self-care is a daily practice. That means you take a moment, take time for yourself in the morning, whether it's to pray, meditate, listen to some music, whatever your thing is, journal, whatever your ism is, do that exercise, and take time at night to spend time with yourself decompressing, whether that's doing breath work, doing a meditation, journaling out your day, doing a gratitude journal. Self-care doesn't have to cost a ton of money. Self-care doesn't have to cost you any money. It'll cost you time. Time is what it costs you. Time that you commit to yourself, for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, because you deserve a hearty life.
I agree. I agree. I really like that you highlighted that it's not having money. You don't need money to have self-care. Some things you can't buy. And time is one of those things. And peace of mind is another. So I am really excited because you're going to equip us with more tools. I will definitely be there on March 9th, 2022 for self-care, embracing aging transitions. And I just love the graphic on this. This butterfly, I think it's just descriptive of the butterflies go through so many changes, and I feel like it's just appropriate. And I don't think that was intentional, but it just fit your presentation. For as we close on this interview, what nugget would you like to leave the viewers to expect on March 9th?
I would like to leave people with this idea that it is time to dismantle society's limiting belief about what happens in midlife in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Okay. It's time to dismantle that viewpoint about that we're getting old. We have so much more to give in this stage of life. We have knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to bring in this space. And I want everyone to know that you're never too old to learn anything. You're never too old to learn.
Yes.
That's what I want you to know. And at 59, I'm still learning. Look, I learned how to be a parent again at 54.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is it's a definite thing. And I appreciate you for your openness and honesty. And I know we're going to get even more on March 9th, and everyone needs to be there. Natascha, can you take us out with the song again? I think this interview is up, and we'll see everybody on March 9th.
Yes. First of all, I want to let everyone know, if nobody's told you that they love you today, let me be the first to tell you, I love you. I love you. And there ain't nothing at all you can do about it. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you.
Love it. We will see you on Wednesday, and invite a friend for March 9th, 2022, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern. See you soon.